Hey everybody, this is Mo Hazimi with Morning Cup of Moes. So I had to hesitate there because I'm usually saying Dr. Mo, creating a new normal. So at this podcast, what my main goal is to sort of take off my Dr. Mo hat and become just Mo Hazimi. And talk about things that sports, day-to-day activities, stuff with the family, still talk health and bring that stuff in there when need be, but be able to talk freely with me and Dr. Ahmad and go about it that way. Because at the end of the day, I'm a father, husband, brother, son, before I was even Dr. Mo. And I like to be that and show that and sort of be myself in front of the camera or in front with my friends or whoever it is. So that's sort of what we're going to be talking about. Now, our first name was Morning Cup of Moes. Why? Because we love coffee. We talk about coffee. We always taste test different coffees. So that's why we got coffee cups up here right now. What we're going to be doing for the first few episodes is more or less just talking about coffee and talking about what we like about it. I'm Tim Hortons, black. That's how I like my coffee. I'm not huge into Starbucks or it's good, but it's more like a dessert to me. It's not that morning cup, man. It needs to wake you up. And that's just what we're going to be taste testing. So please give us your opinions. Let us know which ones you guys really want us to try, and we'll give our honest opinion on it. What we have today is Matari. Matari's a place that just opened up here in Canton. Mm-hmm. It's a Yemeni latte place. And I just went up there and basically asked them for their top two. And their top two they gave me was an Aidan tea. It has a lot of hell, which is green cardamom. So it has a lot of green cardamom in there, and it's good. I've tasted it better.
It's on the sweeter end.
I tasted it better at different places, but we'll bring those in here. Yeah, I have. But their Yemeni latte is great.
Really?
Yeah, I think it really has a spot. I usually get it with oat milk, better than the regular 2% for me. It gives it a little bit of a sweeter taste, a little bit thicker. So that's what I'm drinking on right now. And then they told me try the Americano because I told them how their coffee is a little bit too sweet, and how I can't do it in the morning. So they gave us the Americano, and the Americano is obviously just basically espresso mixed with water. So this will wake you up a little bit. So let's see how this one is. Sorry.
Back to what he said about the Aidan tea. I think the Aidan tea at Matari is actually one of the better ones. It's actually one of my favorites.
Yeah. So I mean, and Kahwa House. Kahwa House, I think, is one that I'm just like, you'll take the white one? Yeah, that's the one that is just like, they're the OGs. They've been at it for how long? So that's why I'm just like, they're the original. Yeah, I'm trying this.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, no, I could do that in the morning.
I like it.
It's a little too watery. I need a little bit more coffee in there.
It's not strong.
No. I need a little bit more. For Americano,
I was expecting like very, very strong and bitter.
Yeah, like Starbucks Americanos, but I get an extra shot of espresso in there. So it's like it punches you in the face in the morning.
Oh, that's good. I can do that.
It's too watery. I need more.
But I can still do it.
Yeah,
I
you
like
could.
where the strength's at.
Yeah, no, I could go stronger.
You're more of a stronger
I am.
Guy.
Yeah.
I do drink black. I'm more of a Tim Hortons 1-in-1, but I'm more of a, when it comes to black, I can have it super strong.
Yeah, no, I don't. And I get what you're saying. I used to be like that, and then I just sort of trained my taste buds during last year when I started doing the whole intermittent fasting and starting to eat healthier and all that stuff. I cut out the sugars and carbs and all that other stuff.
Sure. But how you drink your coffee? You drink it like scorching hot, which I still don't get.
Like this is too cold for me. Like we just got it.
This is perfect.
No,
this is perfect.
No, it's got to like.
It's not too hot. It's not cold. It's like warm. It's
and my water, ice cold.
Really?
There's not freezing cold ice cubes, or it can't be room temperature. So I'm one extreme or the other.
So you're on two different ends.
I've always been like that. I can't.
It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Stay right in the middle.
Stay right in the middle. So let's get into basically. I know you can't wait to talk about LeBron. So go ahead, bring up your boy.
Before we talk about that, are we trying these as well?
So these ones we tried. I mean, these ones I believe we tried, and I know that's your favorite. Yeah. This is my favorite from them.
Latte?
So the latte for me, honestly, you want to discuss it? It's that perfect mid-afternoon drink. It's sort of like it's a dessert for me. Yeah, it's a dessert for me. So after your meal, have that. I can't have it in the morning. It's just too sweet. Like I said earlier, man, it's too sweet for me. I have to have that black coffee or something stronger. But for a midday or like a late night, you want to have it after for a dessert. That's what I recommend. But a lot of people, truthfully, they go and they could have it throughout the day. Me personally, and not in the morning. I'm looking for that morning cup of Mo. I'm not looking for.
I'm not. The tea just makes me happy.
Yeah. It's
right in the middle,
warm and cozy for you,
and I'm good.
And that's this latte is just, it's that warm and cozy. It's like you feel good, you just want to sit down, you want to relax. It's not a get up and get moving.
It's a chill.
Yeah, it is. It's just a chill. Yeah, for sure. So let's get into your LeBron. I know you can't wait.
LeBron's birthday was when?
My birthday.
Happy birthday,
December 30th.
December 30th.
Yes.
Yes, sir. How old are you now? 55?
You wish. 37. 37 still look younger than you.
We'll talk about that later. Well, anyway, LeBron on his birthday dropped 47 points, which is honestly insane.
Yeah.
Considering he's 38 years old.
Sounds like a very LeBron thing to do.
Why so?
He's a pretty selfish player.
Why?
I mean, listen.
9 assists, I believe.
No, I get it, 9 assists, but he likes to shine on his own thing. His own birthday, he had to shine. It is what it is. He goes to different teams. Listen, at the end of the day, all you LeBron fans, how do you feel about KD joining the Warriors? How'd you feel about that?
It was a bad move because the Warriors beat him.
Okay.
LeBron didn't go to the team that beat him, though.
But he started this whole super team crap.
No, super teams have been around since the 60s. Go look at that Lakers team a long time ago.
Okay, but were they all trading together and working together to move to the team?
History, there has been super teams.
There has been, but they were self-made, just like the Warriors right now. The Warriors drafted all their players. The Warriors drafted unreal.
Before, has been trades.
Even with Jordan's Bulls. Those were all brought in. Those were all drafted, or Kukoc coming from overseas, or whatever, or Kirk coming in. Like, those were all drafted and from within.
But there was teams that went ahead and traded for players back then.
Yeah, but not like this.
My NBA history doesn't go that far back.
Not like this. Not like this. This is different. This is more or less the.
Yeah, but it's today's age. That's exactly
I get it.
What it is.
I get it. But that's what I'm saying.
So good today.
It's a different league.
It is.
It's a different league.
100%.
I mean,
no more defense. It's a faster league.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But who started that? Truthfully.
Who started it?
Yeah, who do you think started it? In your opinion?
I mean,
who started that faster pace?
In the new era, I'd probably say the super team started with LeBron.
Not super teams. I'm talking about that fast pace.
Fast pace?
Yeah.
I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Steph?
No.
Who are you going to say?
No. Suns.
Really?
D'Antonio with the Suns, with Steve Nash. I think they were the first one.
Steve Nash,
they were ahead of their time. And I think that it was just they started it, and they were a regular season beast. During, what was that, mid-2000s? Early 2000s?
Nash, I want to say it was 03.
Yeah, it was early 2000s, where they were like high pace. I think their shot clock was 10 seconds, 10 to 12 seconds. Don't quote me on that.
Steve Nash,
but
Amari,
they were just up and down the court. They were tiring people out like crazy. And then I think everybody else, just those athletes started coming up even more and more. And that's what everybody sort of transitioned into that. And then I think Steph changed the game and revolutionized the game with the three-point shot.
Every kid wants to just pop a three.
They want to pop a three. Exactly. So
it's like a long time ago, it was Kobe. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Kobe was.
But now it's just like Steph shooting from half court and shooting.
But Kobe was finesse. Kobe was crazy finesse. Yeah, Kobe was unreal.
I'm not saying Steph isn't art.
No, he is.
His shot is honestly beautiful.
But his shot.
Kobe's turn away, fade away.
Yeah, you could see Steph's shot from half court, and it's just like, I remember watching Steph. And my nephew Mustafa is a huge Steph fan, and I remember watching him at Davidson. When they were in the Sweet 16. I was still in college at the time. And when I was watching it with Mustafa, I was like, special. Like, this kid's going to be special. I was surprised. And he was just popping them left and right.
Size like that.
Hey, he didn't bother him. Did not faze him at all.
He shot the ball as he pleased.
Yeah.
Efficient, which is awesome.
Crazy. So what are the standings right now with the NBA?
So the East is looking pretty tight. You got Boston at 1, Nets at 2, Bucks at 3, Cavs at 4. Speaking of the Cavs, did you see Donovan Mitchell?
Oh, my God. No.
Donovan Mitchell, 71 points. And 71's impressive, but what's very impressive to me is shooting at 64%.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah. That's lights ridiculous. Out. That's lights out.
That's crazy.
He just, I mean, think about it. It's, what is that, 1 for 3, basically. For every 3 shots, I mean, he was making them. So
he went crazy. They went to overtime as well.
Did he have the game winner? What was the
there was a game winner yesterday. I didn't really go into it.
No, you were talking when you were explaining it that night, because I wasn't watching the game. You were explaining he had a block shot off the backboard.
You're talking about Luka.
Was that Luka's shot?
Luka that one night. About a week ago, Luka was down, I believe, 3, shot his first free throw. Down 2, actually. Was it 3?
I don't remember.
Shot his first free throw, made it, shot the second free throw, missed it, grabbed it, and put it back in, which was crazy. I believe they forced that game into overtime as well, and they won. I forgot what Luka had, though. I think it was 6.
I don't remember. Which
is crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So now the West, Nuggets, Grizzlies, Pelicans, Mavericks, Kings. Who's your favorite coming out of there?
The West? I think when Steph comes back, it's going to be a problem. I think the Warriors take it, to be honest. I think they come out of the West again.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the East, though. I feel like Boston being the top seed, Boston's great. The Nets are great. The Nets are starting to figure it out. KD, Kyrie, they're all starting to mesh, and they're being something. The Bucks, you always got Giannis in the East. You never know what he's going to do. And Cleveland's such a young core, as you seen the other night.
Yeah.
Which is
so, I mean, right now, you got the Warriors sitting at 20 and 18. Okay, so there, and you got the Nuggets sitting at 24 and 13. So it's not like it's a wide margin. Okay, especially in how many games are in the NBA season? 32.
82.
Right, 82. So there's a lot of room for them to come back and actually take over. I never count on Steph.
Sure. Basketball's a game of runs.
Yeah, I've never counted them out. So, I mean, that's who is always my preseason favorite. I got to root for the Suns. My son Zane is huge Suns fan. He loves D-Book. So I got to root for them. At the end of the day, it's hard to find a team when your homer team's not doing well. So I try to watch my Pistons and all that stuff. But it's they got young talent.
The Pistons, man, I just feel like they're so terrible at drafting.
Yeah.
The past 10 years.
Yeah.
I mean, Cade is an upcoming talent. We think he's going to be good. Unfortunately, he had the season-ending injury this year.
Yeah.
But what they're looking for is next year's pick. They're trying to get that guy from France, I believe.
Okay.
I forget his name. But he's like 7'3", shoots the ball.
How'd that work with Darko? Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Not too well.
So, my biggest thing, the player development too, with the Pistons. And not only do they not draft well, I don't know if you look at other teams that are developing these players from within. What's going on with that? Like they just, and I don't know if it's just that they're striking out on the drafting, or they're hitting the drafts. They're just not developing these players.
I just feel like that's a good point. They're not developing the players. I don't think they're holding their players long enough. For example, Chris Middleton was drafted to the Pistons.
Yeah.
Now he's number 2 on the Bucks, and he's awesome. Mm-hmm. Very good sharpshooter. Good. Spencer Dinwiddie, another guy.
Yeah.
Another guy that shined at the Nets for a little bit. Now he's over with Luka.
Yeah.
Playing good.
Yeah.
I just feel like the Pistons aren't holding their players long enough.
Now, were those players drafted to be the star, though? Or were they drafted to be role players? Because right now, the way you explain them, they're role players.
I think Chris Middleton was a role player.
Okay.
Who else did the Pistons draft? Ivy this year. I don't think Ivy's doing too good.
I don't think so.
Let's talk about that one punch. Hayes.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen that.
What's your take on that?
Hit the man's back of the head. Like playing, and it was Wagner, right?
I don't think
it was Wagner, right?
Him, yeah,
Michigan boy.
Yeah, I don't think you should have shoved him. But again, basketball's high intensity. Sometimes you do give a little nudge. I guess his nudge was a little too much. But to punch somebody in the back
in the back of the head's not right. That's not right. Listen, a little nudge or not nudge, I get that. And the problem with basketball, and this is why, honestly, I don't watch basketball much except for the playoffs. Because the playoffs, I feel like the intensity is a lot different.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
It's soccer. Too much flopping around, too much just faking the injury, just to get the call that they want. Sure. It's not like, Bad Boys of 89, 90 or anything. It's not the 90s basketball that I remember. And it's very frustrating to watch, especially when I start seeing the flops. It just bothers the crap out of me. It bothered me the most when, at the beginning of his career, your boy started doing it, LeBron. Because he's so big. It's like, dude, you're that big. I'm sorry, you're not going to get charged and go flopping 5 yards down the freaking court.
He was pretty small coming in.
He was still
a lot more muscular.
He was smaller for what he is now. But I mean,
he's an absolute beast.
I know, but for when he came in, he still wasn't tiny though.
Small.
In comparison to what the league was. Yeah, for sure. Like I said, I'll never argue with you his athletic capability. Never.
We just argue
who's the best. So I'll never tell you he's not a freak of nature. I'll never tell you that he's not a great athlete. No, I've said this multiple times, and I'll say it over and over and over again. Of my lifetime, of what I've witnessed, he's the best athlete of my lifetime. Put him on any field, any court, anywhere you want to put him, he would be his best, and he's going to actually succeed at it.
For sure.
Do I think he's the GOAT? No. I don't.
Why don't you think he's the GOAT? Is it because of the accomplishments? Is it because of the 6 rings?
I think the 6 rings is one.
That's
I think
a team game at the end of the day.
I think it's 6 rings is one, but he's accumulated these perfect teams, these mega teams. What's wrong with you?
Who has he accumulated? Dwayne
Miami?
Wade one season couldn't play back-to-back games.
Okay, come on.
Couldn't play back-to-back.
He's done it. I'm not getting into all this, but I'm telling you right now. Go ahead.
Every team he's ever been on, he's always the number one. It's not like he goes to the team and rides number 2.
Of course he's going to be number 1.
He's always
he's
the man.
freaking LeBron. He's going to be number 1. What's your argument? Of course. It's like saying Jordan's is going to be number two, or Kobe's going to be number two.
These super teams, like he goes to these super teams and he steps back.
Yeah, but
he's right.
He's got other people taking that should be number one on any other team taking the number two role.
The number two on LeBron's team always doesn't flourish and become the one ever.
Because
he's always the two. Because
but why is that?
The one to the two.
Why is that? It's difficult to go from the one to the two, and I just think LeBron's he wants to be the coach. He wants to be the GM. He wants to be the number one and two. Like his game is very me.
I don't think so.
And I'm talking about on the court, off the court, all his accolades and everything he does with the schools and all that stuff. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm talking, and when you want to talk about off the court, talk about Jordan. Like, you can. I heard he was the worst off the court. I'm talking about on the court, the way they act. No, it's Jordan he actually got everybody involved and did everything. He took it over when he needed to. He would call an ISO all the time and say, tell everybody, get the hell away from me. I got it.
For sure.
Right?
I think this debate is for a different day, though.
Yeah.
We need a lot more.
We'll get into it. We'll get into it. I think, I want to be ready for you and your stats and all that stuff as well.
So let's talk about your team. You're a Michigan guy.
Oh my God!
I'm a Michigan guy too, but
oh my God! Oh my God!
Yeah, what happened?
They shot themselves in the leg. I honestly, truthfully believe that they overlooked TCU, and they were looking to the national championship, and didn't prepare. They were outcoached and they were outplayed. At the end of the day, they shot themselves in the foot. And honestly, if you just look at these stats and the way I was looking at them, where was it? Duggan, who's the TCU's quarterback. I'm sorry, I'm just pulling this.
Are any of those guys NFL bound or no?
I don't believe so.
None?
You talking about like the role players? I'm sure they got linemen and defensive players in there.
I'm talking about main players, like quarterback's not, right?
No, he's coming back.
The running back's hurt. Like
Corum's hurt. He has not declared or said anything yet. Donovan Edwards, same thing. I don't know what's going on with him. If he was hurt, had a club on his hand. The Big Ten championship, which I was there, it was awesome. Great atmosphere. But the club came off. He played. He had crazy stats. I'm just trying to see this here. I had this pulled up here. I'll find it. But he had crazy stats. I think Donovan Edwards had 120, 130 yards on 21 carries in that range. I don't have it up right now.
Right?
Yeah, but this was against TCU.
Oh, was it?
Even JJ had 300 some odd yards, 2 interceptions, which shot him in the foot.
So you think their preparation was just off?
Yeah.
They overlooked them basically.
I think they overlooked them completely.
This is a win.
They beat themselves. They beat themselves all day.
Yeah,
and I think, truthfully, right? Can I be honest?
Be honest.
I think Harbaugh's good, but I think Harbaugh's ego gets in his way.
That's not going to be a problem?
That's a huge problem.
I'm saying it probably won't be a problem for the near future. He might get an NFL job.
That's why I don't think he has an NFL job right now, because I don't know. Listen, that hoorah, let's go boys, and chewing them down and all that good stuff, that works with your collegiate athletes. I don't know if it's going to work for long with this NIL deals coming through and people actually getting paid now. But before,
going to start popping up.
Yeah, but before, I think it worked well with that, and that's why when he transitioned into the NFL with the 49ers, he succeeded. He did well, but I think it lasted only so long. Because it was just like the players started getting sick of him. The GM started getting sick of him. Like even at Michigan gave him a pay cut. He's been there for 7-8 years. Michigan gave him a pay cut after year 3 or 4. I feel like that humbled him. The minute that humbled, and they stripped away some of his duties. From my understanding, they stripped away some of his play calling duties, some of his defensive coordinator duties, so on and so forth. And that humbled him. And I just feel like this game, he sort of went to the point where it's like he went back to his old way. And he went back to what he wanted to do. Because his coordinators, they could be out for jobs as well. They could be out for head coaching jobs, especially this year. They've been great. So I think that's an issue. Now, him leaving, the 3 teams that everything I'm reading is Denver, Carolina, and Indy. I think those are the 3.
Where do you think he fits best? Denver, I don't know about Russell. I really don't know.
I mean, Russell showed it last game.
Yeah, but out of 15, I mean, he hasn't been good at all.
I know, but could that be because of Hackett? Could it be because of coaching?
You think it's coaching?
I mean, I think it could be a give and take. I think it could be both.
But doesn't he have the duty to call his plays? I feel like Russell's that guy where he can audible to whatever he wants and call his own plays.
Still couldn't tell you. You would think he should.
Yeah,
you would think he should be, but I don't know if he does or doesn't. But honestly, I think ego-wise, the only person that's going to sort of keep Harbaugh in check, Irsay. Irsay in with the Colts. He's a little out there too. He's nuts, but I think he could actually hold him down and
keep him in check.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll work for a little bit before they maybe more focused. And it's just which one's a little bit more crazy. I think that's where it ends up coming down to. And I think Indy seriously has probably, besides most talent, would probably be Denver of those three. Denver, Colts. Yeah, I would say Denver, Colts, then Carolina.
Talent as well, that running back, Javonte
Williams. You still got Judy. If Judy could survive a whole freaking season,
keeps getting hurt.
My goodness, if he could survive a season, it would be great. Now, did you see the OSU Georgia game?
Yes.
Okay. Did you realize the final kick was in unison with the new year?
Yeah,
well, like as they were counting down, I'm sitting there watching on my phone because they made me change it to the rocket, ball drop. Yeah, for sure. And I had everybody over and like, we're done watching football. Let's get. Okay, whatever. Watch it on my phone. As this ball's dropping, they're counting down 10, 9, 8. They get the 5, ball snapped. They get the 3, ball starts getting kicked. Missed the field goal with the 1 or 0. I seen it online where they actually put it side by side.
Imagine he made that. Oh my God! How crazy would that have been?
Or now he's just got the first missed kiss of the new
first missed
kick of the new year. Yeah. So that is that to watch that was like, oh my God, how'd that just happen?
Back to Michigan though. You remember that one time we were golfing and who did we see?
Oh, Aidan Hutchinson.
We seen Aidan Hutchinson and I had no idea.
You had no idea.
Who he was, and you seen him like from afar.
Yeah. Well,
and we're like, are we supposed to ask him for a picture? Like, we're asking him for a picture. That was the day before the draft.
Yeah, that was the day before the draft.
He thought he was going 1 to Jacksonville, right?
Yes.
Who went 1? Do you remember? I don't think he's doing too well.
Was it Jacksonville that had 1, or was it?
I believe so.
Who took Thibodeau?
Thibodeau went to the Giants, correct?
Giants.
NFL draft. Let's find out. Because it was the Jags. The Lions went to. Who went 1? That's a good question. Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker went 1? Okay.
DN.
I don't know how he's doing.
He went 1. I heard he wasn't doing too good. He's a Georgia guy.
Yeah.
Georgia guy. 2 Aiden. 3 Houston. Derek Stingley. 4 Sauce Gardner.
Sauce
is nice.
Robert Saleh. That's 2 people that he slammed on, man. I mean, Sauce is your probably rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year for sure.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's locked down, man.
Yeah. He just in the Jets green reminds me of Revis Island. I mean, he's just locking people down. Talking about locking people down.
He's actually a Detroit native too.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. We gotta talk about Jaire locking down Jetta.
Yeah, we do.
Killed me my fantasy. Oh my God.
How many points?
I had it up right here.
2 point something, right?
Yeah, he was god awful. 2.5. 2.5. Him and Justin Fields killed me. I ended up losing. Justin Fields had 19. Last time he played, went up against Detroit, he had 50.
Crazy. 18 in like the first half. We were in the
first
car
quarter.
Talking about it.
First quarter. He had 18. And then just completely just wrecked me. I ended up getting smoked in this thing. But when you have Justin Fields and Justin Jefferson and TJ Hawk and Christian Kirk and Garrett Wilson, and they all put up a combine of like 35 points.
You can't do much.
What are you going to do?
You can't do much at all.
I'm going to take second place and call it a day.
Did you see how Justin Jefferson almost hit that ref?
Yeah.
He took his helmet off. Yeah. I don't think he noticed the ref.
I don't think he did.
He took it off, wanted to slam it, hit the ref in the back.
Yeah, I don't think he did.
That was just nuts.
I think that was...
it's like crazy how much frustration. He was so enraged.
Jaire was locking him down.
He was in his head. He actually got him on playing. He did the gritty.
He did the gritty right on. I seen him. He did the gritty right on him. And I'm like, and I think it was shortly thereafter where he snapped. That's it. Emotional.
Man, he was
emotionally, that got the best of him.
He was in his head.
Yeah. So, playoff pictures. Let's talk about NFL right now, real quick, and sort of talk into regards to this playoff picture and what we're looking at here. So, my Steelers, your Lions. I still root Lions. Lions. I think you mentioned it earlier, and I think I sort of agree with you there. Where how in the heck do they have now? The Lions Green Bay game should be the Sunday night game, but
should be a prime game.
I think it should be more of a Saturday night game or something earlier.
I just think
because if Seattle wins, that's it. Detroit's out. Whether Detroit wins or loses, Detroit's out. So I feel like that's just it's a little difficult on them because if they go into the game knowing they're not going to make the playoffs,
pointless.
What happens? Now they're trying to play spoiler for the Packers because I think the Packers winning in. And with the Packers, but the Packers, same thing. I think if Seattle loses, either team needs Seattle to lose.
Yeah, so they need Seattle to lose, and whoever wins that matchup
gets in. So if Seattle doesn't lose, Seattle's in, locks it in.
I just think at that point it's just a rival game.
Now it's just a rival game.
I think they play it out, though. I think they play it out and basically to its full extent.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But does it become a dress rehearsal for, guys on the bubble for next year's, or does it become a, sort of like a roll people out there and let them show what they got? So sort of dress rehearsal for other teams to see their other players, for trade bait. So, that's the only thing with that sort of, gets the best of me, where I'm just like, it should have been looking at what the lineup is. I was looking at that and saying, okay, that's the only game that could really be Sunday night. That'll have a lot of implications into it. But at the end of it, who does Seattle, I believe, had who this week? Are they San Fran?
This week? Or are you talking
this coming week?
Week 18, the Rams.
They play the Rams.
So you got Baker.
You got Baker that's playing for.
You mentioned earlier, Baker has a lot on the line.
He has a lot on the line.
Cam Akers.
Stafford said he's coming back. Stafford's not leaving. Yeah. So they paid the man. Stafford's coming back to play. He's not coming back just to ride the pine. So they're putting him in. Cam Akers, they benched him the first freaking half of the season.
He's been doing?
So not.
Cam Akers a monster.
Yeah, how do they bench that?
I don't know. That's insane.
So I feel like it had to have been either an attitude issue or something. Like, why would they bench him?
It wasn't fumbling or anything like
that.
Right?
No. I think his yards per carry.
I think Pages did a bad job with that, to be honest with you.
Did ego get in the way again? Probably. At the end of the day, all these guys end up having egos of some sorts. Was that an issue? You know what I'm saying?
But at the end of the day, none of this NFL stuff is important other than one thing this week. The thing we witnessed on Thursday.
Yeah. So with
I'm sorry, it was Sunday night, right?
Sunday night with Damar.
Thursday.
No, Monday night, my man.
Monday night.
Your days are mixed up because we had Monday off.
We had Monday off.
Yeah. So with Damar, and hopefully he recovers, speedy recovery, prayers to him. But my biggest thing is this commotio cordis. And I understand what commotio cordis is. I understand the repolarization, depolarization. T waves get all messed up upon a traumatic hit to the chest. And MLB, lacrosse, hockey, these are all sports that have these issues. But it's usually a smaller object projecting towards the chest cavity, hitting it at 100 plus miles per hour. If you look at the hit, yeah, it was aggressive. It was an NFL hit. It was a football hit.
T. Higgins.
No, you can't. You can't.
I heard T. Higgins getting death threats.
Yeah, that's bad.
I can only imagine what he's feeling on a personal level.
Yeah. Well, did you see him after the game? There was a reporter.
His mom, right?
He was hugging his mom in tears.
It's so sad.
It's not anything that he had any ill intent.
He's not a dirty player at all.
Never.
He's awesome. He's really, really good.
And that's where it's just with that commotio cordis. For me, I was watching the game, and when I seen it happen, immediately I was like, "That's heart." I was talking to my other nephew on the phone. He's like, "Oh my God, what just happened?" I texted. I was like, "There's no way that's brain. That's heart." Immediately, you see that, and then how he got up and just collapsed down. The biggest thing that my mindset went to, and this is all complete and utter assumptions, is what's the underlying cause? This guy is a 24-year-old. Best shape of anybody in the world except for those other players on the field with him. Cardiovascular shape is unbelievable, especially because this is later in the season, not the beginning part of the season.
There's no rust. So
there's nothing there. So
they've been playing.
I get that diagnosis. Very, 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 very rare in NFL. In MLB, hockey, like I mentioned, it's more common. Even in MLB, they started giving, Under Armour started making shirts with a heart plate basically, where they have a little heart plate that's protecting them right here, and that's way if a ball comes right back, or all catchers wear them, if it all comes back and hits them in the chest, that this does not happen, absorbs that shock. So that I understand, but with this, my biggest thing was, man, this was a blunt trauma, and he was delivering the hit. He went in, opened up like this. T. Higgins dropped the shoulder to try to break the tackle. What What was it? Because they were shoulder pads, and the shoulder pads, granted, the DBs and cornerbacks and safeties and wide receivers all wear smaller shoulder pads, so they got more flexibility and movability. But they still have the chest plate that comes down that's covering their chest as well. So that would have taken a majority of that shock that causes this issue. So I'm not saying it's not this. I'm not a cardiologist. I'm not, a medical doctor to even see this. I don't know his case at all. I just know what you know. I know what everybody else knows. So looking, we could, so
sure that's out.
What it is, it was crazy. But getting into this, a little different here, right? Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless is on the verge of getting canceled. And this is the thing that sort of drives me nuts because I feel like not everybody was reading. And maybe it is, this is the problem I have with Twitter and putting things out there is it's how you're reading my tweet is how you're going to take my tweet. That's how you're going to interpret. That's how you go about your day. Completely different. So you're going to interpret my tweet the way that you're interpreting life. And that bothers the crap out of me because, and I'm going to read it. No doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome. ... Which suddenly seems so irrelevant. How do you interpret that?
So honestly, I think when people tweet sometimes, it's in the heat of a moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like when a sport play happens that's remarkable, we tweet right away. And honestly, I feel like he didn't have the intention of like, okay, it's all about the NFL.
No.
Clearly, after he tweeted about Damar Hamlin.
Yeah.
And people took it as if, like, he disregarded Damar Hamlin and just worried about the NFL. I mean, is that game significant in terms of football? It is, yes.
It is.
But the more important task is what happened on the field.
I'm with you.
He did say that. He did say that. I just feel like people overreact.
Yeah, but in a quick sentence of which suddenly seems so irrelevant is literally saying this game had everything riding on it, and now it just doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So he said that was...
That's
I
him
copied and pasted his tweet.
Is more important than this game.
Yeah,
I don't know why
that's
people
exactly
got
what
super
it's saying, and that's
upset
why I was just like, and as I read it too when it was live, and I wasn't reading it clearly. My whole thing, my question as well is logistically. We talked about it yesterday. Can they push back the Super Bowl 2 weeks? Can they push?
And you said it'd be very difficult because
people have tickets and hotel rooms and
work,
yeah,
1, 2, 3 flights.
They should.
They should.
Will they? That's where he was questioning.
That's tough. So, I don't think they play that game.
And Skip Bayless, the character on his show, yeah, I can't stand them sometimes, but he still has good points, right?
Well,
he's paid to be an antagonist. That's what he's paid to do. Yeah.
So if you have a show where two people are agreeing,
it's boring.
Not fun.
It's boring, and that's not going to get the ratings up.
You gotta go.
So that's why I'm like, okay, you guys are mixing Skip Bayless, the human being, versus Skip Bayless, the commentator.
Sports analyst.
So it's like, and he's paid to do that. But so that tweet, I keep on reading it. I'm just like, I'm trying to see where it's bad, and I can't find it. Like I'm really, and maybe it's just the way I interpret it, and I could be wrong, and but it's just that's the way I want to. I don't know. I just found it crazy. So last thing that I'm getting into is my good old Steelers. Okay, we're talking about the Steelers here, and my Steelers. You questioned it. Draft day, is Pickett the real deal? And I said, listen, next year has so many draft picks that could actually come in at quarterback and play. If we're taking a quarterback this year, it has to be Pickett. He's the only one. He's the only one that has the it factor. And watching him with that, I think it was a 2:30 left on the clock or 2 minutes left on the clock, and sort of take over the game and find Najee around that little HB wheel route. And he was scrambling away. That was very Ben-esque, okay? And he's faster, more mobile, makes those decisions. I think our offense coordinator is absolutely horrible. And I think every time Pickett gets in that 2-minute drill, he's got the offense on his shoulders. So he could sort of call the audible because even Matt Canada, the OC, came out when Trubisky was quarterback. I don't know about with Pickett, saying that he's not giving them the capability of audibling.
Oh,
that's
tough.
Took it away from him.
That's tough.
So that's where it's like when Pickett has the ball in his hand,
that's trust,
and he's actually calling the plays that needs to be done. He's getting the ball to where it needs to go. That throw to Sims across the top. It was 3 defenders. Sims right in the middle. He threaded that needle on the run, throwing it. I think it was off his back foot. I could be exaggerating a little bit there. It's just the way I seen it. Okay, but
fantasy world.
It is a fantasy world. But hey, I'm in there. So that was fantastic the way he made that throw, and that's just the thing that drives me crazy. And I'm sorry, with all due respect to all Lions fans out there, you guys are all like, "Oh my God, it's such a great season. It's such this. It's such that." Yeah, when your expectations are not very high, and beating Green, like I was talking to somebody the other day, and they're like, even if we lose, as long as we ruin the Green Bay Packers possibility of getting in the playoffs, well, I'm okay. I'm like, but that should not be what you're rooting for. Yeah. I was like, well, why? That's not what you're rooting for. And that's the difference between mindsets between a winning organization and an organization that just wants to be a menace to society.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you should want, like, you have the talent to want to win.
Because the Lions are very talented.
Oh my God. They're young, they're talented, they're all that good stuff.
From where they started the season till now, it's like
way different.
Which is awesome.
Exactly. And that's where something, it's like with them, I think they need to get it to the point where they get it together. But it's hard. It's hard at that point.
Sure. I have one more thing to say about football, and then we can talk about our last topic. No Jalen Hurts, no Derrick Henry, no Tony Pollard. Fantasy champion. Yeah,
that was crazy. Hey, that was nuts. Champion. The fact that you pulled that one off, I was like, and you were a menace in that group chat because he had to put your opponent's freaking face on a kid on your shoulders. It was hilarious. So that was unreal. Now I want to sort of put sort of the Dr. Mo hat on right now,
for sure,
and sort of talk to everybody and sort of talk about what happens in our day to day. Okay, and how it just irks me that how other healthcare professionals, whatever it is, they bash other people. When at the end of the day, when we're looking at this, what I really want to sort of start talking about is how we should all be. Our main goal is the betterment of the patient, how to get the patient better. So, for example, if I have a patient that comes in and I know for sure that it's a muscle strain sprain or whatever it is, acute injury that needs to have someone else look at it for the muscular side of things, I'm sending them to physical therapy. Like, they need to go see a physical therapist because physical therapy works on muscle, tendon, ligament. We work on bone, nerve, disc. So that is something that working together, we could treat the body as a whole. Or if I'm at least the slightest bit scared of any type of sequestration of a disc is where there's basically this disc, it bulges, and then the water balloon that's holding everything in sort of erupts, and the water on the inside starts to run out. If I'm worried about that by any means, I am sending immediately to the ER, going to see a neurosurgeon. They're probably getting booked for surgery right away. I think in 10 years I've been doing this, I've only seen that once, but referred out immediately. If there's any type of corticosteroid that is needed, which I'm not a huge fan of them. I know the side effects of them. I don't think they're great. I don't think they're needed on a regular basis the way that they're passed out today. And I'll explain that about a patient in a sec. But is there a time and place? There's a time and place for everything. There's a time and place that you could actually need the cortical. There's a time and place where you need the antibiotics. There's a time and place where you need the chiro. There's a time. But at the end of the day, it's the betterment of the patient. Why do I hate corticals? Corticals demineralizes the bones, weakens the cartilage, weakens ligaments, weakens the muscles, especially when you're having an excess. And in a lot of people in our area, they're so quick to give a shot of this cortico, where I had a patient the other day walking out to their car, did not trip, did not fall, did not anything, broke their femur. Their femur it's one of the hardest bones to break in the human body, and just snapped right in half. What happened within the last year? For her knee pain, she was taking a cortical shot every single month for the past 12 months. So that alone is going to weaken that bone so much that she sort of did it to herself at that point, which no fault to her. She just wanted to get out of pain. Mm-hmm. But it was just a matter of, you need to know what's going on at that point. Okay. So, and my other one favorite that, I'll talk to you about this, and I've talked about this, was when we see patients and we're talking to them. I had a pediatrician tell a patient of mine, because this baby head was colicky. Every time he would sort of sit up, he would start falling over. Leg was always turned out. Head was always tilted. Would not latch on to the mother on one side, was only feeding on one side. This pediatrician, remain nameless, told my patient that basically I'm going to kill their kid.
That's unfortunate. I feel like in this field, we see that a lot. A lot of times we'll have different people, different patients coming in telling us like, oh, my primary care doctor said if I start chiropractic, I got to continue chiropractor, doing chiropractic sessions. Or, oh my God, if I see a chiropractor, I'm going to get worse. I think at the end of the day, a lot of fields have egos where we just have to be, it's all about integration. At the end of the day, we're good at one thing. And if that thing comes into our door, we're going to go ahead and fix that issue. If something comes to our door and we're not familiar with it, what are we going to do?
Refer out.
We're going to refer it out. I just think as a medical profession, we need to be better integrated because integration is just going to better the the health of our patients.
Yeah. And that pediatrician, go back to it, I called him. I emailed him. I did everything I can to try to reach out, to try to explain, because at the end of the day, he doesn't know what we do. He's probably not educated on what we do. I'm not saying he's not educated. He's educated in his field, but he's not educated in what we do.
And we're educated in our field.
And we're educated in our field.
People have the misconception.
Yes.
We're not medical doctors.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's okay.
We're not medical doctors.
I didn't go to school for that.
Chiropractic.
Yes.
If we wanted to be medical doctors, we would have what?
We would have went to medical school. That's what it is. So I think the togetherness and all that good stuff, for the betterment of the patient at the end of the day, to get the results, is what everyone needs to work for. And that's truthfully how I like to practice and go from there. All right. For sure. So any suggestions, anything, you guys let us know. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys subscribe. Tune in more often. We'll be getting these things up and going. Give us any ideas you guys got. Have a great day.